us on our fan page, Adam, and on a fan page on Facebook that you can find. Look it up, and then you can like us on there and stuff. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Because we are now at 21 subscribers! Yay! So we got one more than we thought we were going to get. So that's
I was about to say, like, this was going to be the 20 subscriber special.
That was the 21!
But we've exceeded. Our expectations have been exceeded.
Exceeded, yes. So in honor of that, we're doing a little extra video today. Now this won't be a skit thing, but we figured we would talk about kind of how we come up with some of these crazy sketches and characters and maybe what our influences are. And as a special treat, because I have COVID hair, we could call it, I guess.
Quarantine hair.
Quarantine hair, yeah, I don't have COVID hair.
Thank God.
My hair would be coughing a lot. And it's driving me nuts because my hair goes like this. You can see I look like Cousin It. So anyway, Anna is going to braid my hair. And I'm doing this for the good of the fans. It's not something I would normally do, but we're going to braid my hair so I look like a Viking. And Anna, said that's what she wanted to do, so I'm like, okay. So while we do that, while she's braiding my hair, we will talk
I'm going to get started on that right now.
Come up with these kind of silly characters or how we are influenced by them. So...
Hold your head still, honey.
I refuse. I'll never hold still. So anyway, obviously, when we started the YouTube channel, we weren't just a bunch of schlubs who had never done anything before, ever. We actually had... What are you laughing about back there? Anyway. You're distracting me.
Done.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? What the hell is that?
Yeah.
That's literally the only thing you're going to do? Okay, let's say. Well, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that was anticlimactic. So anyway. Are you quite done? Are you quite done?
I'm sorry. Okay. Anywho's. Okay.
We actually are part of a sketch comedy troupe called Turbo Turkey Productions.
Can you tilt your head back just a little? Thank you. Perfect.
And so we have done, for 10 years actually, we've done improv, and we've done sketch comedy, and we've written a couple plays. So, all together out there and doing things in the Seattle area. So obviously when this quarantine happened, our usual thing would be we would be doing monthly shows, or, semi-monthly shows on some months. But obviously since we aren't able to do that because of, this wonderful, wonderful COVID-19 thing that never wants to end because people just can't wear a goddamn mask. Anyway, so we decided to try to be creative in try to be creative in other ways. And I also had a lot of characters that I've done in the past or that I've done way a long time ago. And Anna's kind of come up with a few characters too based off of things that we've done. So, for instance, when coming up with a character for a sketch, sometimes it's just a matter of, well, how did you come up with this character and this voice or the facial expressions or whatever you're doing? For me personally, a lot of times it'll be based off of a real person, like Martha. The Martha character is based off a real woman that I worked with at Walt Disney World for a summer. She was a bus person at the Casey's hot dog stand, and while she wasn't roping herself like this or anything, she was very flirtatious and kissed me on the mouth one time unexpectedly.
That's creepy.
It's a little creepy. I washed my face with scalding hot water. But well, not scalding hot water, but I immediately went and washed it. What the hell? I mean, she was a nice lady, but she would talk like Elmer Fudd. She smoked the cigarettes, and she was from Jersey, and so I just kind of, from that came, would you stop grabbing my head?
Well, you keep tilting.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not used to this stuff. And
okay.
I'm trying to talk here.
There you go. Thank you.
Anyway, this is a family show. Thank you very much. So that character is based on a real person. Honestly, when I started it as a kid, I used to impersonate my dad a lot because he worked overnights, and then we'd go wake him up, and he'd be like, "I don't need a circus," and then me and my brother would be brats, and then And I would just imitate him from there. So I think I just kind of came to a point where I started to imitate people a little bit. But I would also say that some of my characters, I can do a decent celebrity voice per se, but I don't think that I have the talent, at least, of like a Dana Carvey or Phil Hartman or something like that, where you can straight up do everything, like their whole physicality, their whole voice and everything. So most of mine, what I end up doing, because I'm like, well, I don't really look much like this character. I don't really have much that I can do facial expressions, so I just figure I'll just turn it into an original character and build from there. That's kind of how Doug Farnsworth came about, because he was. I always thought it was. I always liked the over-the-top sports announcer, and I grew up watching a lot of wrestling. And Jim Ross was always very, over the top and my God, And I also did a decent Jimmy Stewart type voice. That was terrible right there, but and so I just kind of combined the two into Doug Farnsworth, and so it's become one of my favorite characters. If you couldn't tell by all the times he's appeared on this, the 2 times he's appeared so far. But I've been doing that character for a couple of years.
Spoilers.
Yeah, well, like several other characters, but that's kind of how I've come up with the characters. A lot of it's either based off of real people or exaggerations of celebrity voices or other people I've met. So Anna, what about you? How do you come up with these characters that you come up with? What are your influences?
Mine are pretty random. You mean like comedic?
We'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, okay. Mine are just pretty random. They're usually based on something that I find funny,
Mm-hmm.
and then grow from there. For example, the Marcia character, for anyone who's ever seen The Howling.
Yes, the Howling.
The Howling. We were watching The Howling. It was his first time seeing it. And there's a scene in the film, spoilers, it's a film about werewolves, and it took
You
place,
couldn't tell.
and it took place in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was made in the 80s. And,
Same director as Gremlins, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and because it's an 80s werewolf movie, there's a werewolf sex scene. And the actress who plays sort of like the head werewolf in the film, very beautiful woman in a very 80s big hair sort of way. But she has this overbite that that she keeps protruding throughout the film, like this, as if that is the way that she's going to attract people to her,
Yeah.
and to be seductive. And so, right before werewolf sex is initiated, she protrudes her overbite for extra emphasis.
Yeah.
And as we're watching the film, I just went, because it was just too funny at this point because she kept doing it.
Yeah.
It was at that point I just went, "That's not." And he thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And that is literally how Marcia was born,
Yes,
because
indeed.
it became a running joke just between the two of us, the whole sort of thing. And then from there, I just started saying, just speaking
Whatever
more
made
in that
you
sort
think,
of
yeah.
character, this seductive werewolf who thinks she's just so on top of everything, and she's not. She's just really weird. That's where Marcia came from. So it's usually just something like, it can be just something as small as that.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
By the way, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie about the braids. It feels like my hair is being pulled back really tightly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh.
Kind of
yeah,
hurts a little bit.
Yeah,
Not
let
gonna
me
lie.
How's that?
That's
A
fine.
little better.
So anyway, yeah, and with the Farnsworths, I found that the Phyllis Farnsworth,
My
she
parents
just kind
wanted a picture.
that's great. But like with the Phyllis Farnsworth character that was introduced in our sketches, that's the first appearance of her. But I found that especially when we were doing the Atari video game, it felt like my dad trying to teach my mom how to play a video game. And so on, I kind of just played kind of this, bored housewife, I guess would be
Yeah.
the best description.
Yeah. Hold still, honey.
But it's pretty funny though. It's
Oh,
very fun
thank
to
you.
play off of. So yes, also we want to talk about our comic influences in terms of growing up. Me myself, I of course grew up watching SNL. Mostly like I saw the original cast later, but when I was growing up, it was Dana Carvey and Phil Hartman and a lot of that cast, Jan Hooks and stuff like that. So that's kind of my generation that I grew up with, the Church Lady and
Oh, that looks cool from the
Unfrozen
front.
Caveman Lawyer and stuff like that. So
That looks cool.
yeah, great.
Leave a comment below if you think it looks cool from the front.
Sure. But yeah, so I grew up watching that and Second City TV reruns with John Candy, who was a huge comic influence. It was John Candy. How could you not like John Candy? He's just so likable. And I also grew up with me and my brother and my cat did a late night talk show thing called The John Ritter Show, where we would just interview wrestling buddies and stuffed animals. Because John Ritter was like my hugest influence to get into acting, because I saw him on Three's Company and I was like, this guy's hilarious. And I pretty much followed his entire career until his unfortunate tragic death, which still depresses me to this day. And of course Phil Hartman as well. I swear all of my influences died tragically. It just sucks. But yeah, I think that's what really got me into wanting to do sketch comedy and improv. What about you, Anna? Who are some of your influences? I know you've been more of the acting before you started getting
Yeah, no, it's funny you mentioned that because when I was going to acting school, I had a teacher who...
I wasn't like that, no, I mean...
no, that's fine. And I think he did not mean this disparagingly, as disparagingly as it came out. He said, Anna, you do not have a funny bone in your body. He was all like, he was just amazed at how unfunny I was. So I spent years being all like, well, I guess I'm not funny.
I think you're hilarious.
And it basically took some time to sort of get into the whole comedy thing. And so I think in that regard, I would say actually the actresses of the Golden Girls were are big for me. Particularly like Bea Arthur and Rue McClanahan, because they also got their start doing straight theater. Bea Arthur actually used to tell a story about how she was always told how unfunny she was when she first started acting.
You're just so unfunny.
Yeah, and then it took time to be like, oh, I can do comedy. So I would say them. I would also say, of course, Lucille Ball. That's just classic. Gilda Radner.
Oh yeah. The best.
Yeah, of course, lots of the ladies from Saturday Night Live, and Judy Garland, actually.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
From a female, Catherine O'Hara was always good too.
Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to say second, and of course Schitt's Creek. She's just amazing. Well, I loved her in Beetlejuice too. I like to even do like her condescending laugh that.
Yes, you do.
Like she did. I love that. Yeah, it's just funny as hell.
Okay, so the braid is done.
Yeah, the braid is done. Here's an up close shot of it.
Yeah, it's still from the front. Oh yeah,
it's okay.
There's a little bit of mumbling. How does it feel?
It feels like my hair's being pulled back into a braid. It kind of hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I did it for the good of the film.
I was about to say, and it looks good from the front.
Yeah, and the cool thing about character stuff too is that you can try to teach a workshop, and then sometimes nobody shows up. It's great. No bitterness whatsoever from that.
He's not bitter at all.
Try to do a character workshop and no one signed up
and
and came. So yeah.
I feel looser.
I'd love to teach more about character stuff, but you have to actually come to the actual workshop.
Okay, honey. All right, so
I'm not going to let this go ever. Bitterness forever.
What a great note for our 20 subscriber special.
I know, we appreciate the subscribers. So
guess what, honey? That means you went from 0 to 21.
That's true.
That's pretty cool.
That is good. So we're hoping to get to 50 would be our next landmark.
I look so giant next to you.
The first time you've gotten the tower over me. Enjoy it. Yes, we have a tripod now. That's why we're also nicely angled.
Yeah.
So yes.
Framed.
Also, like I said, we have our Facebook page, which is Adam and Anna's fan page on Facebook. We have an email, Adam and Anna hague1@gmail.com. You can email us stuff.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Email us anything you want. You
We
can
love
leave a comment
emails.
too.
Yes, and we love comments.
Yes, comment on what you think of this braid look. If it's a good look, if it's a new look for me, maybe I'll never do it again. No, you see what I did there?
Yeah. Also, things we'd like to see in the comments is our next milestone is 50 subscribers.
Yes.
So, in the comments, please let us know what you want to see us do for our 50 subscriber special. If
Yes.
one, you want to see Adam do my makeup, or
You'd like to see. I don't want to just do the same thing. Are you doing my makeup? Do your makeup. Man, I really didn't have anything for it. I don't know. I'll do a silly dance. I don't know. I don't know.
all right. So either
Well, I'll think about it. Let
either
that be a mystery to you. So.
either a silly dance from Adam, or Adam does my makeup.
Or if you want to see like,
That's a lot of you doing
or
stuff.
like, tell us what your favorite characters are. We've done a lot of sketches, so like, tell us what your favorite characters are, so we can bring them back too. Because I think that's we try to bring characters back periodically.
Yeah.
We also try to introduce new ones. But like, tell us what you like the most, because we want to hear your feedback. So comment, and email us and stuff. So we're hoping maybe get to 50 by at the earliest, the latest October maybe would be a good goal. Maybe 75 by December, and then by next year 100. That's a big goal. So yes, thank you for joining in. We will be back tomorrow with two new sketches for you. This was just a chance to celebrate our 2021 subscribers, and we hope to get more.
Thank
So
you
if you
so
haven't
much.
subscribed yet, if you're on our fan page and you've liked our fan page, but you haven't subscribed to the channel, just pop on over. It's really easy. All you have to do is hit subscribe. You don't get charged anything. Personal story. Just hit subscribe, and then you'll get notified whenever we do videos. And the great thing about YouTube is you can watch it at 3 in the morning. You can watch it 3 weeks from now. You can watch it whenever you want. But if you hit that subscribe button, it helps us as well. As we build our fan base.
And honestly, thank you all so very much
We do
for
appreciate
subscribing.
it. Yes. It's always a joy to watch how many views we've gotten and stuff.
It makes me feel very happy, especially during
Such a
these
trying time.
turbulent times. It's good that that people are enjoying us and that we're enjoying what we're doing as well. So.
All right, so we will see you tomorrow for our 2 new sketches.
In the next video. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.